Capacitors. A capacitor, formerly known as condenser, is a passive two-terminal electrical component used to store energy in an electrical field. The forms of practical capacitors vary widely, but all contain at least two electrical conductors separated by a dielectric insulator. For example, one common construction consists of metal foils separated by a thin layer of insulating film. When there is a potential difference, voltage, across the conductors, a static electric field develops across the dielectric, causing positive charge to collect on one plate and negative charge on the other plate. Energy is stored in the electrostatic field. In October 1745, Ewald Georg von Kleist found that charge could be stored by connecting a high-voltage electrostatic generator by a wire to a volume of water in a handheld glass jar. His hand and the water acted as conductors, and the jar as a dielectric. Even with the generator removed, a painful electric shock could be received from the wire, so somehow electricity had been stored. The following year, the Dutch physicist Peter van Buschenbroek invented a similar capacitor, which was named the Leyden jar, after the University of Leyden, where he worked. Daniel Gralath combined several jars in parallel into a battery to increase the charge storage capacity. Benjamin Franklin investigated the Leyden jar and proved that the charge was stored on the glass, not in the water as others had assumed. He also adopted the term battery, denoting the increase of power with a row of similar units, as in a battery of cannon, subsequently applied to clusters of electrochemical cells. Leyden jars were later made by coating the inside and outside of jars with metal foil, leaving a space at the mouth to prevent arcing between the foils. The earliest unit of capacitance was the jar, equivalent to about 1 nanofarad. Leyden jars, or more powerful devices employing flat glass plates alternating with foil conductors, were used exclusively up until about 1900, when the invention of wireless radio created a demand for standard capacitors, and the steady move to higher frequencies required capacitors with lower inductance, AC resistance. A more compact construction began to be used of a flexible dielectric sheet, such as oiled paper, sandwiched between sheets of metal foil, rolled or folded into a small package. Early capacitors were also known as condensers. The term was first used for this purpose by Alessandro Volta in 1782, with reference to the device's ability to store a higher density of electric charge than a normal isolated conductor. For capacitors in series, 1 over the total capacitance is equal to 1 over the capacitance 1 over 1 over capacitance 2, and so on. For capacitors in parallel, the total capacitance equals capacitance 1 plus capacitance 2, and so on. Capacitance is measured in farads.